There are two broad categories of variables, qualitative and quantitative. Recall that qualitative variables are descriptive categorizations of a population or sample. These can be broken down into normative and ordinal. Recall that quantitative variables represent quantities measured with a fixed or standard unit of measure, in other words, numbers. These can be broken down into interval and ratio. A normative variable is a qualitative variable for which there is no meaningful ordering or ranking of the categories. A person's gender, the color of a car, and an employee's state of residence are nominative variables. An ordinal variable is a qualitative variable for which there is a meaningful ordering or ranking of the categories. The measurements of an ordinal variable may be non-numeric or numerical. For example, a student may be asked to rate the teaching effectiveness of a college professor as excellent, good, average, poor, or unsatisfactory. Here, one category is higher than the next one. Therefore, teaching effectiveness is an ordinal variable having non-numeric measurements. On the other hand, if we substitute the numbers 4, 3, 2, 1, and zeros for the rankings excellence through unsatisfactory, then teaching effectiveness is an ordinal variable having numerical measurements. An interval variable is a quantitative variable that has all the characteristics of an ordinal variable combined with a measurement on a numerical scale with an arbitrary 0 point. This 0 point is just assigned. It is non-physical and is not meaningful. In other words, 0 does not mean the absence of the quantity that we are trying to measure. With an interval variable, the distance between variables can be compared, but ratios do not make sense. For example, the amount of energy needed to raise the temperature from 40 degrees to 50 degrees is the same as is needed to raise the temperature from 70 degrees to 80 degrees, but 60 degrees is not twice as hot as 30 degrees. Additionally, a temperature of 0 does not mean no heat, just that it is cold. A ratio variable is a quantitative variable that has all the characteristics of an interval variable, but is measured on a numeric scale with a meaningful 0 point. For example, you can have $0 or no children. Having a meaningful 0 means that ratios make sense. This is what you usually think of when you think of numbers. For example, if one person has $30 and another has $10, then the $20 difference between them is the same as the difference if one had $80 and the other had $100. In addition, $30 is 3 times as much as $10. The ability to form these ratios is what makes it ratio data. In business and finance, most variables are ratio variables. Any variable measuring money is a ratio variable. In addition, most statistical analysis is performed using ratio variables.